Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now May 8th of 2024, and given that there's a lot of things going on right now over at the Walt Disney Company, we talked about this recently that the Disney stock really tanked by 10% just yesterday on May 7th. There's been a lot of things going on here with Bob Iger falling into desperate damage control mode and how the board of directors are in a state of panic. Now, focusing on Star Wars, specifically with the Acolyte, we know that this is the very first Star Wars project, at least throughout its marketing campaign, where its trailer or trailers now, since there's two, have been ratioed across all forms of social media. Something, by the way, that we never saw with Kenobi, the Book of Boba Fett, The Mandalorian Season 3 even, or anything related to the Star Wars movies. We have never seen this before happen with anything related to Disney Star Wars. Now, we all know that Bob Iger is really just clueless at this point in time, and he's really scrambling to really put Lucasfilm back together. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. So the thing about Leslye Headland is that we know that there's been a lot of drama happening behind the scenes between herself and the Disney heads after she was, yes, fired and removed from multiple Star Wars and Marvel, of course, related projects under Disney. There's been a lot of drama happening between her, Kevin Feige, Bob Iger, and some of the other Disney executives, and also, to top things off, Kathleen Kennedy is getting mixed up in this drama. Let's discuss. Now, specifically, of course, we already know that the Acolyte is going to be worse, definitely than The Last Jedi, because we already have a lot of backlash happening before this thing even dropped. However, with Bob Iger endlessly falling into damage control for all the divisions at Disney, one major development now has much to do with the Acolyte showrunner and director Leslye Headland, and how she is now taking serious action against Disney after she was recently fired from multiple Star Wars and Marvel projects, along with the Acolyte Season 2 getting cancelled. Now, one crucial update to this situation now involves how Leslye Headland is already beginning to gather up a legal team and has already presented multiple warnings against the Disney heads after Bob Iger decided to drop Leslye and her actual Season 2 for the Acolyte that she reportedly had signed the contract for, with an entire storyline already mapped out where she created a treatment for the plot as well. Now, the main reason why Leslye is now warning Disney that she is preparing to take things up to the next level of a legal scale also comes well after the fact that she was fired from 4 Marvel projects, 3 of which were going to be MCU shows connected to either Ironheart and the Agatha series serving as spin-offs, and 1 Marvel movie that was also reportedly a part of her extensive contract that she reportedly agreed to that is now no longer moving forward, mind you. Now, Headland's plan for the Acolyte Season 2 that was cancelled just recently behind the scenes was to also bring in director and writer Rian Johnson as a director and as a co-writer for the series' 2nd season, and this was also a very serious plan that was beginning to take shape from Kathleen Kennedy, who is also going to produce the project yet again. It turns out that Iger's main call for canceling the Acolyte Season 2, which was aimed, by the way, to drop sometime in 2026, was that the board of directors fell into a massive shakeup over the current status of Star Wars, and viewed the Acolyte backlash for, of course, this season to be too strong to handle for a second one. Now, 3 emergency meetings were already created for the cancellation of the Acolyte prior that led to the demise of the series. This, in turn, is what created all the drama behind closed doors between Headland and the Disney executives. Now, currently, Kathleen Kennedy is beginning to step into this situation in a desperate move to reinstate Headland's Marvel and Star Wars projects, given that she knows Kevin Feige personally, by the way, and is a dear friend of him, and to put the Acolyte Season 2 back on the Star Wars slate for 2026. The issues presented by Headland had a lot to do with the fact that she had spent much of her time crafting the story for Season 2. Bob Iger and the board saw this as another She-Hulk Season 2 situation that they wanted to prevent from happening as well. In addition to all of this, Headland already gave a serious warning to Iger and the Disney heads that if this entire scenario is not resolved by the fall of this year, she will be officially moving forward with making a legal case against them and beginning to sue the Walt Disney Company for breaking her contract and providing false promises within her role over at Lucasfilm and everything also related to Marvel Studios and their projects that she was offered beforehand. Now guys, let me just say one thing before I move on. Now the thing about this that just goes to show you how egotistical Leslye Headland truly is and how this whole situation over at Disney is just a mess, something that I believe is only going to make things worse for Lucasfilm, for Kathleen Kennedy's role as president, the fact that she's getting mixed up in this drama as well. So look, the fact that they view the backlash for the Acolyte to be too strong to handle for a second season, I think just goes to show you that they have zero confidence in the first season alone. And we already talked about how one of the big strategies that Bob Iger did with the Acolyte was by hiding the trailer, the first trailer, alright, the one that debuted weeks and weeks ago, was actually in hiding for almost a year since Star Wars Celebration 2023. Alright, and there was a reason behind that. We discussed this in depth about 4 days ago, I think it was, where the main reasoning behind that was that they knew the backlash was looming for the Acolyte Season 1. They wanted to keep that pretty much off the radar and really keeping everything pretty much flat for almost a year until they would begin their marketing campaign for the Acolyte. It also had a lot to do, by the way, with the cost containment plan really wreaking havoc on the funds that would be available for the Acolyte marketing campaign. That's why you're not seeing a lot of TV spots on actual television. That's why you're not seeing a lot of TV spots even on the internet. I haven't really seen much at all, and a lot of you agree and have been telling me this on Twitter/X and also here, that you guys really have not been seeing TV spots like they used to be used in previous Star Wars installments. Moving onwards here, on top of that, alright, this drama revolving around Headland is also creating a divide now between multiple board of directors at Disney on the future of Star Wars, especially after the 10% drop in their stock that took place just yesterday. The Leslye Headland drama is only worsening over time now, as Iger drags the situation into the summer. So it's not helping the fact that they are dragging this drama well into the summer. After the debut of the Acolyte on June 4th, this thing is going to go on and on until the fall, most certainly, to the point where Leslye is going to take a step forward at Disney and the executives, including Bob Iger. Now look, we know that everything related to the Acolyte as a whole, the previous plan by Kathleen Kennedy was that she wanted to make this the new flagship series, now that The Mandalorian is transitioning into becoming a film series instead of a TV series. That's their overall game plan right now, by the way. That was their initial strategy, to make the Acolyte the new flagship show, and that failed terribly, flat on its face, and now they don't know what to do at all. So overall, I would love to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.